Hi everybody, welcome back to the Dahlia Society. My name is Kristen if you haven't met me, and today we are going to talk about a little collaboration that I have done with Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles, and that is for a free pattern that I'm wearing today, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it, so stay tuned. Now, if any of you haven't met me before and you've jumped over from watching Karina's episode, welcome to the Dahlia Society. As I said, my name is Kristen and I love everything about sewing. I am from Melbourne, Australia. I love growing dahlias in my garden. That's hence the name of this Dahlia Society. And my number one passion in life is sewing and being creative and helping to inspire you to create your own dream wardrobe as well. Now, I know that you guys all love Karina, and I too am a huge fan of hers. I've been watching her for quite some time now, and I know that she's going to do some amazing things with this. I have just basically sewn the pattern as is and added a little bit to the length, and I'll go into that in just a moment. But knowing Karina, I think she's going to pick this pattern apart, and actually she'll probably get it to fit her perfectly, because that's what she does. She is a real perfectionist when it comes to fitting patterns and also adjusting patterns, and she's got some fantastic tips for doing things her way. Although we love to follow a pattern and it's a great idea to look at your recommendations on the pattern envelope, sometimes there's little hints and tips that you can get to just make life a bit easier and get a sew done a lot quicker. And Karina is just the expert in that. So we've got a few things in common. We're both mums in our 40s. I'm a little bit older than her, but we, as I said, both mums that sew. And the one thing that I loved about Karina when I found her was that she is in my hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere. So say I'm from Australia and she is from Brazil. I think she's originally from Chile, but she lives in Brazil with her family. And another thing we have in common, we love to film outside in our garden, because who doesn't like a beautiful garden, greenery and some birds tweeting around? So I think being out in the daylight too helps you guys see the fabric and helps you guys look at the pattern a bit more in detail than what you would if it was just inside in a dimly lit room. So I love to try and bring you guys out in the garden when I can. Before I get into this free pattern that we've collabed on, I would like you to hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel. That way you're not going to miss out on any new episodes coming out too, especially if you've come over from Karina's channel, Lifting Pins and Needles. I'm sure you'll get great value out of both of our vlogs, because we are very keen sewists. We like to upload once to twice a week, so we have a lot in common there, and I'm sure you'll get some great value out of the channel as well. So there's just a few things that we have in common. As I say, she's a beautiful person, and we actually decided to do a little collab. We've been talking for a little while now, and I left it up to Karina because I know she is just the expert on patterns, and especially free patterns. So now, although this is an Australian company, the Wearable Studio, Karina is actually the one that found this and was really keen to make it. So when I found out it was not only a free pattern, but it was an Australian design pattern, I was all for it. So I just said, let's go for it. And we are probably doing a little bit different things in terms of fabric. So I'm really excited to see what she's done with hers. And I know just from corresponding with her through Messenger, she had also already adapted the dart to fit her a little bit better. I sewed the straight size 16 on the pattern envelope. I always look at the finish measurements, because I think that's really important to make sure that you're not just getting a great fit, but you've also got a bit of room to maneuver around in. And I think being in a sturdy type of fabric and a woven fabric, you want to have a little bit of room. I decided I wanted to wear this as a pinafore style pattern. That was my main aim, was to use this fabric that I had in my stash for quite a little while now. It's just a cotton polka dot that's actually got like a beautiful array of colours in it that I could think you could just about wear anything underneath. I decided to go for a black speckled mull, just plain t-shirt, just to let the fabric speak for itself. So I'm really excited to see what Karina's done with her fabric. The adjustments that I made to this, I'll give you a little bit of a look before I get into that. Okay. I'm wearing it today with leggings, because I love wearing leggings underneath things, especially for this up and down weather. If it's a little bit cooler, and a little plain t-shirt. But I'm planning on wearing this for winter with a long sleeve, roll neck, lightweight jumper even, and with thicker tights. So I'll give you a little twirl. Now, the thing that I love most about this dress is that it has got little darts in the back. And you'll see that the actual ties are joined into those darts. So I'm a huge fan of when something has got ties inbuilt into the dress, because ties are a huge pain. They end up getting lost most of the time. Sometimes they can look a bit lost on the body as well. So I just love the fact that the ties are actually all connected. I'll give you another little look at that. So they're interconnected into the darts, and those back darts give you a beautiful shape as well. And then you can just tie it around the front, and I think it just gives a more of a sort of a nice streamlined line to the garment. The other thing I love about this is that the straps are a perfect length for me. Now normally I put straps onto a camisole style dress and they are always falling off because I do have a sort of a dropped shoulder a little bit. But these were perfect for me, and I was really happy I didn't have to adjust. They were just spot on lengthwise for me. So that's one thing you want to make sure when you sew it up. Before you stitch it, you want to pin it first, get the correct fit, move around a little bit in it, and if you find that the straps are dropping, you might need to adjust the fit of that. I also like that these straps are bra friendly. This is another good thing, and it'd be quite easy to widen these straps as well. It has got an interfacing, and it gives it a beautiful structure around the top, and that will stop bagging out and stretching of the neckline. So it has got the stay stitching and the interfaced facings, and the darts also I think give it a beautiful shape as well. So if you can see here, normally pinafores, you know, most of the time the bib and brace style things don't have a lot of shaping, so this has got a beautiful, don't mind the frogs, it's been raining a lot here too. It has a lot of nice shaping through the darts. So yeah, normally pinafores don't have darts, and I think to have that built into it is another great feature as well. The other adjustment I made was to add 15 centimeters to the length. So I'll stand back so you can see the length a bit better. Excuse me, Meg. If you can move out the limelight here. No. So I added 15 centimeters from the section where it does say to lengthen it in the middle. It'll have a line saying lengthen or shorten from here. So normally you don't want to lengthen or shorten from the bottom, because that nice curved edge of the hem will be lost if you do that and you just sort of cut it off or lengthen it. You want to make sure you keep that shaping that's through the hip. So you just lengthen and shorten through the middle line. Now I sewed this up in just under 2 hours. That was from start to finish. So and that was with no interruptions as well. Of course, if you have interruptions, you're going to add a bit more time into it. But it's a really quick, easy make. And I did say it was a free pattern. That's one thing to make sure you do, is look on the Wearable Studio website. And if you sign up to their newsletter, you will be able to pick this as a free pattern. They will then send it to your email and you can just download it there. So I think that's a fantastic deal. And there's a couple of other beautiful tops on there as well. I think you'll notice they don't have a lot of patterns, but what they do, I think they look like a great style, especially their camisole style top. I'll link that as well, with a little frill on the sleeve. I think that's a lovely design as well. Another fantastic feature for quick and easy sewing is the way they've done the straps. So there's no need to turn straps inside out, because that can take a little bit of time. There's a lot of methods and hacks for doing that quite easy, but I find that it still does take up a lot of your time when you have to turn them inside out. So the way they've done the straps is almost like making a bias binding, where you fold the sides in and the bottoms in, and then in half, and stitch along both sides. So it gives a nice clean looking strap there as well. So that's a really good time saver. I would love to see this in a denim. I think this would be gorgeous pinafore to wear through winter, but also because it's bra friendly, you really don't need to worry about wearing the top underneath. If you want to wear it just as a plain dress, then I think it's going to work really well to keep the bra on with it. I also noticed on their recommendations they had a fine needle cord that would work beautifully. And I think it's a sort of pattern you could really hack and do a lot of different features. I'm sure you could put little pockets on if that's what you wanted to do. You could widen the strap, or you could even make yourself a fabric belt with a buckle on the front. That would really work well as well. So because you've got the shaping in the back, it allows you to do quite a bit there with the belt or the tie. Another bonus with this pattern, I love the fact that when you make a pinafore, you don't need much fabric, so they're not very fabric hungry at all. This you could make from 1 to 2 meters. I think it goes from a size 6 to a size 22, so really size inclusive there. And depending on your size, I think it starts off at 1.5 for the lower sizes, and the higher size rate, I think it was 2 meters. So for under 2 meters, you're going to be able to make a fantastic free dress. Sure that like me, you've got plenty of cottons lying around, especially like things like quilting cotton, which I think this is what this cotton might have been when I bought it quite a while back. And normally quilting cottons, you know, you can tend to find things like this work really well for them. Sometimes I don't like to make things with sleeves because I find there's not a lot of movement there, but with something like a pinafore, you've got your arms free, so it works really well. The other bonus with that is if you're short on fabric, you can make your interfacing out of a different fabric altogether. As long as in the same composition and the fabric's a very similar weight, you won't have any trouble getting that nice structure there. So yeah, fantastic dress, really happy with it. Thanks to Karina for suggesting this. And if you haven't watched her episode, I will put a link for that at the end of this episode that you can jump on over to hers and see what she's done with this dress. So the Heidi Day Dress from Wearable Studios, a great Aussie company. Pop online and look at their website, and I'm sure you'll be really thrilled to get that free pattern in your emails. So good luck with that, Karina. I'm dying to see what you've done, and thank you so much for the collab. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time for the next episode on the Dahlia Society. Bye for now.